Good afternoon, everybody. Me back to borrow some of your time. Today's wee video and task is to do with self-talk. That internal dialogue that we have, that internal dialogue that is very much influenced by our subconscious mind. And it's really about trying to just tap into it more, be more aware of it and be more aware of the detrimental impact that negative self-talk can have on us, and why it's really, really important wherever possible to start paying more attention to it, being more aware of it and questioning it. So one of the areas within the course, we look at self-talk and we also go on and look at self-stigma. But that part, the main part I wanted to focus on was the self-talk just now. And it's really, self-talk is a huge part of who you are, and it really has an influence on how we feel about ourselves, about our potential, about our choices and chances in life, and how we interact with others, and how we're viewed by the world around us. It affects our self-esteem, it can affect our self-confidence and our self-image. So it's really, really important that we try to work on shifting that in our dialogue, if you like. One of the tasks, like in the class and on the course, that we would be doing is making our own ponchos. And I don't mean like the beautiful knitted ones, it's like the wee waterproof ones that I wear to a festival. The idea is to, if you think about all of the words that you've said, even for a second, if we talk about the negative ones, all of these words that people have said to you and you've in turn said to yourself, they're almost like, it's like black dollops of paint, or well, more glue, that stick, and they stick and stick and stick, and over the years that you can be covered and feel like just such darkness, such heaviness, and it really does influence and shape who you are and how you think and how you feel. And it's about trying to remove a lot of those, get rid of them and replace them with like more colourful, positive, optimistic words about all that you are. These wee ponchos, I've made actual ponchos that you can see in the class. The worksheet is going to be, it's got a blank poncho on it, but it's also got pictures of these ones so you can see what they look like. This was a poncho of pain. It's called, I think it's down the front there. I have to say it was horrible to make, and I tried it on and quickly took it back off again because it's not nice, and it's hurtful, and it's heavy, and it's horrible. But it's also equally important to look at it to see why it can have the impact it can. These things are only waterproof. Words like that cut to your soul, so they go so deep, and it's about us just giving you the time and the space to reflect on it, and to be more aware of it, and to start practicing changing that, shifting that inner dialogue, because practice makes possibilities. The other one, which was lovely to make, is the poncho of positivity. It's all colourful and it's great. And again, the whole point of this is to maybe have a visual, and it can be hard writing down words that you've been called or things that you've been told, because it's incredibly painful, but it's trying to kind of let it go in some ways, and replace it with all that you are, rather than all that you think you're not, or all that you've been told you're not, or all that you've in turn told yourself you're not all these years. What I'm going to do is I'll attach the worksheet, and it's really for you to try and write down words, statements, positive stuff. I am, I can, I will. Statements like that, and so that you can get a visual of, again, all that you are, that darkens out, dampens out all the negative stuff, where possible anyway. But what I'm going to do is quickly finish with a wee poem, that I had written recently, to try and kind of emphasise self-talk and why we need to be more aware of it. And I'll finish with that, and I'll send a copy of the poem as well, that kind of re-emphasises why it's such an important thing to be more aware of and to tackle. So this is Remember Who's Listening. How we talk to ourselves really, really matters, as our self-esteem can be left in tatters from the barrage of words sent our way by our internal dialogue every day. Lots of negative things to point out and say that seem stuck on rewind or forever replay. And because we don't take a minute to pause, we fail to examine and address the cause. Questioning our self-talk isn't easy to do, but it can often lead to a substantial breakthrough. It requires ongoing practice and self-belief, and for us to be our own commander-in-chief. As the voice that we hear most of the time, while tackling can feel like an uphill climb, is the one that remains inside our own heads from the minute we rise until we go to bed. It can hinder our learning and limit our growth by becoming a harmful and lifelong oath. Yet our promise to ourselves can be full of potential that acknowledges our strengths, which are evidential. So now is the time to reset and begin, to focus on our endless strengths within, the ones we've accumulated along the way from the moment we're born to this very day. We have so many strengths tucked inside. It's time to wear them with a sense of pride, to empower us to learn and try new things and fully embrace what our future brings. So let's take some time to reflect and reframe on all of the obstacles that we've overcame, in recognition of what we've all gone through and for all that we are and all that we do. Remember who's listening. And as we said, you know, it's about talking to yourself like you would someone you love, because your body hears everything that your mind says, and who you are really does matter. Okay, so keep talking to yourself nicely, and I'll speak to you again soon.